workshop we are going to be exploring group cohesion, very closely related to peer relationships of course, and very closely related to the adult-child relationship. But it really matters because as long as human beings have been on the planet, we have existed in groups, in tribes. We're not meant to survive in isolation, much less thrive in it. So bringing that sense of togetherness and belonging and cohesion amongst everybody is really important. It can have wonderful, wonderful outcomes for well-being and for learning, for brain chemistry, for everything. But of course there is a challenge because children can be very set in their ways when it comes to friendships. They can be very divisive within their peers. But it's really important that we don't just leave children to get on with it or to deal with those kind of ruptures in relationships, because that sense of isolation can have a really, really negative impact on what's going on in the nervous system and the brain. So I'm going to show you a couple of games that you can play. The aim of the first game is to simply pass a clap around a circle as fast as you can. So this can take just a few seconds, but it really, really is very effective very quickly at bringing everyone together. And then that's going to be followed by a game which is a bit more sophisticated version called Pass the Taps. So let's have a look at what those games look like in action. Quicker. One more time. Back the other way. Go. So you will have seen from that little film there that you can actually put a double clap or a double tap in, and that sends the clap or the tap back in the other direction. And that's great, and it adds a great bit of fun and an extra dynamic to the game, but just a little bit of warning that the double tap or clap can just get stuck between 2 or 3 children. So make sure you put a rule in there about making sure that any clap or tap does a full circle before it's allowed to go in the opposite direction. So now let's have a quick think about the game Keepy Uppy. Most of us know Keepy Uppy, but most of us don't appreciate just how wonderful it is for group cohesion. The reason being is that there are no teams. So it's not about winning and losing. Everybody has a shared goal. Keep the ball up in the air as long as you can, and everybody can be really supportive of each other. So let's have a quick look at that game in action as well. One team, okay, we're going to try and keep the balloon up in the air, off the floor and off surfaces like tables and chairs as much as we can, okay? Are we ready?
Yep. Okay. Oh, that was close. I think I just headed that. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. Get it. Bye. Ready? 2 balloons coming in. You've got 2. Right. No child. It just collided.
So lastly, I'm going to show you a game which is an extension and adaptation of a name game. So this name game is explored in the oxytocin workshop, and it starts in just the same way. But what you do is bring a tennis ball, and ideally more than one tennis ball, into that workshop and actually take the naming out. So it becomes a game of eye contact and connection and shared activity that's kind of all worked on non-verbal communication. Let's have a look at that game in action.
Molly. Summer. Alina.
Jess. Ooh.
Ava. Lola. Freya.
Olivia. Always have to make sure that that's...
So you will have seen from that clip there that you can add an extra layer of challenge by bringing in more tennis balls, and that can really add to the fun, but just be mindful of the fact that if that starts to cause stress, like stress that's beyond a child's comfort zone, then that can start to unravel the good work that you've done. But equally, with lots of light-hearted and playful practice, you may find that children can really surprise themselves with how fast they can keep and maintain that rhythm once they've got it. And then that in itself does wonders for self-esteem, because if something feels insurmountable and then your children achieve that, then it really, really lights them up. So hopefully this workshop has given you a few ideas to support group cohesion. Of course, you may be doing these activities already, but just know that they are so much more powerful than just 5 minutes of activity to fill the end of the day or to fill a little space somewhere. They can be so powerful with bringing about that sense of togetherness, that sense of cohesion. So all in all, if they're generating fun, laughter, connection, that's not the antidote to learning. That is the very, very source of learning itself.